Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're meeting for the first time, my name is Brittany and this is my channel, Be the Little Light. And if you are a returning friend, what up? Thank you for coming back. I felt really called today to sit down with you guys. The energy today definitely is very heavy and I want to acknowledge that. And I felt called to sit down and pull cards for you guys and just have a little chat. I already pulled the cards so I could get a clear picture of everything, and it actually tied in beautifully, as it always does, with conversation I was having with Spirit earlier. And it was this message that Spirit was sharing with me around prayer. And the message in the communion between Spirit and I was about not letting anyone tell you that prayer is insignificant. There's there's things have come to a point in our society now where thoughts and prayers are laughed at. It's kind of there's a lot of people that make fun of it, honestly, and there is nothing insignificant about prayer, is what I've been hearing from the divine, and that while it is absolutely important and necessary to take inspired action when you're feeling called to and when you have the ability, the power of prayer is so profound. When we tap into that prayer energy, when we pray for ourselves, when we pray for others, we are aligning and coming from that heart centered frequency, that love frequency that stems through compassion, empathy. It's powerful. And I just really want to stress that. So I sat down and asked Spirit, what does the collective need to hear? For those of you that are going to tune in, for those of you like my crew, my people that really get me, I understand that the videos that I make, they're not the most popular videos. They're not videos that are going to grab people's attention very often, because I'm not trying to speak everything in 3 seconds so I can hope to keep your attention span. I allow Spirit to speak through me, and I trust that even if I made this video for just one person, I trust that that one person is able to receive what wants to be expressed through me from source. So when I sat down and I asked, what does Spirit want you to focus on? And the message was very clear: prayer. These cards are from the Lightworker Oracle deck. Let's see if I can. And let me just tell you that this deck is a very potent deck. Whenever I feel, this is not an everyday deck that I use, because the messages in these cards are they're just so coded, they're just so profound, and I always feel called to them at a very specific time, when usually it's when things spiritually feel very heavy. And so it's not an everyday deck that I use, and when I feel called to use it, it's for a very specific reason. And the images on the cards that were pulled, I didn't even, normally I read from the guidebook with this one, but I felt called not to, and just to focus on the intuitive messages I was receiving from this. And you can see on both of these cards, these people are in prayer. They're allowing themselves to be in full devotion. And the bottom of this deck same thing. Now, this deck, not all the cards are like this. These specific cards showing these images of these people in full prayer, in full faith, full surrender, full God. Lead the way, lead the way. Spirit, lead the way. I trust. And everyone in these images, they're not distressed. You see them in full surrender, but they're also in full bliss because they're allowing themselves to be in the hands of spirit, to be held by the helpers, by the angelic energy, to be supported. And I was also picking up on Mary Magdalene energy. And for me, anytime I connect with the Mary Magdalene energy, it comes back to full devotion, prayer, living your life in prayer from sun up till sunrise, from the moment that you open your eyes and the time that you go to sleep. And this is something that is very aligned with this continual message I've been receiving every day about what my highest self and spirit have been guiding me to incorporate in my non-negotiables. And my non-negotiables of my spiritual practices every day involve in the morning when I'm doing my spiritual cleansing, I also do a long prayer. And the prayer is for myself, for everyone I know, and also for the world. It's for peace, it's for healing, it's for freedom and abundance for all. And whenever anything is going on in the world, and I'm starting to feel emotional, and I feel so strongly about this, especially because it's just been so, it's been a lot for everyone. And since the new year, I have just felt so called every day to deepen my prayer practices. And it's my intention. No one's hearing me do it, no one's seeing me do it, but I believe in my prayer so strongly. I believe in faith and hope, and I believe that things will get better. And this goes back into what spirit has been reminding me of not allowing people to diminish the power of prayer, because when we come at people in this energy of prayers don't matter, you are directly telling people to not have faith, to not believe that things are going to get better. And that is absolutely someone's choice and their viewpoint to see things that way. I don't choose to align with that energy. I can't look at life that way. I can't look at the world that way. As hard as things get, I just can't, and I won't. It goes against everything that I believe in and I stand for, and what I feel is the reason why I'm here. So prayer is so powerful, and don't let anyone tell you any differently. It's a very heavy start, guys. Let me try to center myself for a second. So I'm just still feeling very emotional. It's a lot, and I want to acknowledge that. And also, something that spirit wanted me to bring up is that when we choose to take care of ourselves, and when we decide to sometimes pull away our energy and find ways to center ourselves, overstimulation, I've been saying it over and over, almost every video, how overstimulation is, this is the highest it's ever been. And you have all these people, places, and things that are constantly wanting to pull on your energy, asking you, pay attention to me, pay attention to me, pay attention to me. And then when there are different things that occur in the world, in your community, in your family, personally, it can all just feel so loud, so overwhelming. It's so important for you to do the things that are going to quiet, that are going to allow things to be quiet for you, because the world is just constantly going to scream for your attention. And right now, we're at a point where it's only going to get louder and louder. People, places, and things are going to get louder and louder for your attention, for your outrage, for your pessimism, for your save me energy. This is a time to really call back your power. Call back your power, but also stand very firmly and rooted in what you believe in. On a cosmic level, the message that I was getting, I started, when I started pulling these cards, I started doing light language while I was shuffling, and I don't usually do light language while I'm shuffling. And as I was, I pulled out this Seraphim's Seraphim's Gateway, voice activation, angelic attunement, divine support, which was very aligned and very cute from the angels. And that was the angelic frequency coming through, light codes wanting to be emitted and be encoded into this reading. So if you set the intention, if you wish to receive that, that energy is emitting through this as you're watching. The angelic frequency is here. It's not just wanting to come through, it is coming through. It's here. Angelic support is here. And again, this all ties back into faith, prayer. The other messages were about the shadows of the collective. Here we have about Atlantis and Thoth light codes. Again, with the light codes coming through. But as the light codes come through and they start peeking through the cracks, they start peeking through the darkness. Things start to get topsy-turvy and they start to get weird. On a subconscious level, it starts having people on a deep subconscious level bring up things that our collective has previously forgotten, such as the distortions around the Egyptian times, the distortions around Atlantis. But there were a lot of divine things, codes, and positive energy around these specific times, the Egyptian times and the Atlantean times. But there also were the shadow aspects with the Egyptian times, the worshiping gods, seeing a higher slavery is what I'm hearing. Seeing yourself as less than, holding these beings that were giving information and regarding them as gods, as higher than, as more than, and being enthralled in slavery, and that being deeply embedded into the shadow consciousness of the collective. And then with Atlantis, again, it's these peaks in technology and technological advances, but coming to a point where the society largely at whole was more removed from consciousness and more plugged in and tuned to technology. And because this remains on a subconscious level, as that memory can never be fully be wiped, it exists somewhere stored within our DNA. um, that's why when rises in technology such as AI and things like this, it evokes a lot of fear in people, because deep down it's that shadow, it's the shadow memory of the collective from Atlantean times. But we are at a time where we are meant and ready to excel on a technological level, and it's our choice this time to do things differently, to steer the ship differently, so that we do not repeat the past. And what I'm seeing is, no matter what, we're not going to repeat the past. We're never going to replicate exactly what happened. But everything that happens is still a choice point. We are going to start to see and learn on all levels how everything is interconnected. This is going to be from the shadows to the light, meaning things that, what I'm getting with this is things on an ethical level you don't want to be connected to things. But we have to be made aware of these things, and they're going to come to light regardless. And as heavy as some of these things may be, there's a larger reason on why it's important for us to know history, for us to know places of origin, for us to know how deep these tunnels are of things, people, places, and things, how it's all interconnected events. And we're at a time where we are questioning now more than ever. And that's actually a very positive thing, because we are going through another mass awakening. And this is major. And this is the sign, it's the sign of the times. But like I always mention, sometimes that's going to translate as being very chaotic. Sometimes that's going to translate as experiencing collective trauma, even. I asked the angels, because their energy was very, this was at the bottom of the deck, angelic frequency. The angels are very, very, very present in this reading. And so I asked the angels, what do they want you to focus on? What's their advice? And the advice was prayer. The advice was praying with others. And that is a message that was the first that I've gotten. Um, what I picked up with that was, if you are feeling called to, and you might already belong to, let's say if you belong to an organization, or you belong to a church, or you belong to any type of religion or organization, or even if it's non-denominational, even if it's a just something that involves community, or even just involves another person. Maybe you have a friend or a best friend, or even strangers. If you find yourself coming into the awareness of a ritual or a group meditation, whether that's in person or online, and it's a group meditation for peace. We are powerful as individuals, but we are even more powerful when we band together, and that includes when we pray together. And again, this doesn't need to come from a religious standpoint. Certainly what I'm giving is not coming from a religious teaching. This is this is about your direct connection to source, and whether religion resonates for you or not, the message is still the same. How are we? I asked how are we going to move through this, and we are going to move through this by you working on yourself, by you choosing to better yourself, by you choosing to move with intention, by you choosing to be good and to hope and pray and visualize the best outcome for all. Angels are always sending you messages. They're always sending you messages, signs, synchronicities, and they invite you to ask to see more. And if you ask to see more, trust what you're being shown. As challenging as all of this is, as gut-wrenching and heartbreaking and heavy as all of this is sometimes, this all is a part of our spiritual growth as an individual and also as a collective. Final message from our cosmic fam. What's the final advice? What's the final advice? At the beginning of this, I felt so heavy, and now I just feel so giggly, and I feel, thank you, I feel the angelic frequency. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. The advice, Starseed, I'm talking to you. The advice is raise the vibration of the planet through your loving, radiant light. And you are being guided by the cosmos. Stay strong. A positive outcome is assured. And at the bottom here, we have patience. Be patient and allow destiny to unfold at its own pace. And I couldn't think of a better, more aligned way to end this reading. So thank you for sitting here with me. I appreciate you. I'm praying for you and for all. I love you guys. I'll talk to you guys next time.